What's up, everyone? It is Lo, Beauty Demon, and we are back to talk about internet BS. Today I'm actually going to be talking about a Reddit post that I saw. Well, I saw it on one Reddit page, but it was actually on another Reddit, so we'll get into that in a minute. But first, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post, which I know it has been a while. I'm sorry. And please don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I'm seeing play out on the internet. So if you have something to say about what we're talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what they're there for. However, the person that we're going to be talking about is completely anonymous, so you wouldn't be able to harass them anyway, but don't go to this Reddit post and say mean, negative things or anything like this. But first, yes, I did want to touch on the fact that it has been a while since I posted on this channel, and that's for a couple reasons. One, I have been going through some health problems, both physical and some mental health problems, because let's be honest, the state of the world is just a lot to handle sometimes. And also my real life work can be kind of demanding and just kind of exhausting. And then I have been going through some physical ailments. I have not gotten the big C or anything though. I actually have been dealing with chronic pain for as far back as I can remember, to be honest with you, and it's reached a breaking point to where I am really actually seeking medical attention that I probably should have been seeking a long time ago, but it is what it is. So I'm on the right path for everything, but that's kind of what my month has been like. It's work and doctor's appointments and yeah, and that's still not over. Also, I have started a second channel, and you're probably like, well, what the heck? You haven't been posting on this channel. What are you doing on that one? This channel is a completely different channel from this. It is nothing like this at all. It is about my love for retro games, comic books, toys, things like that. I've also been kind of doing this side hustle of finding cool things to resale, so it also is a little bit of that as well. It's just a fun second channel of videos that I've always wanted to make, but just knew wouldn't fit in on this channel, so I just decided to make a second channel for it. And if you're interested, I will link it down below. I should put it in some kind of I don't know, other channels things or something, yeah, there's a way I could link it. Don't worry. If you're interested, I'll show you down below. And I do have a separate Instagram for that to share just fun finds and things like that. Anyway, moving on to what I saw on Reddit. This was actually posted a couple days ago and I somehow missed it. I mean, I say somehow wow, it's so unbelievable that you could just miss a post on Reddit. This actually pertains to YouTube family vloggers. This is slightly reminiscent of a video that I made about a year ago. Now, there was an anonymous post on a subreddit. I cannot remember what that subreddit was. I'll try and go back and remember. They just expressed their distaste for being on it. They were threatening to delete things, or maybe they had deleted videos. I can't recall because like I said, it was a year ago. So this was posted on the YouTube vlogger family subreddit, and they were actually sharing a post from another subreddit, which was Raised by Narcissists. And they just said, has anyone seen this? And this was posted 3 days ago. It has 5 awards. I don't know what these awards are. Oh, 3 bear hugs, 2 of those arm things, which I think means friendship, and 1 silver. Anyway, I don't know if people really care about Reddit awards, but it's cool, I guess. And the title of this Reddit post is, I'm a part of a family vlogger family, and my parents use me and my siblings to get narcissistic supply from their followers. And then they go on to say, my parents are covert narcissists who use me and my siblings for fame and money by posting pictures and videos of us online. My mom quit her job a few years ago to become a full-time mom influencer. I can't say that word, momfluencer, as she calls it. I would rip on my mom so hard all the time if she did that and called herself that. Anyway, our entire lives are about the family brand. We're one of those weird families who take the perfect Instagram photos together in perfect matching outfits. If we don't cooperate, they make life even more miserable for us, so we learn to just go along with it. I've had a camera in my face for hours every day for years. They film everything, nothing is off limits, even lots of things that should be private. When my parents told us about a death in the family, we found out later that we had been filmed for the entire conversation. I'm sorry, what? That is beyond up. Like, that is some next level. Okay, anyway, let's continue. That never ended up online, but after that we knew anytime we could have a camera on us and we might not know. And anything filmed can end up online and get seen by hundreds of thousands of people. And let me tell you, that is a scary thought. I can never relax. I also wonder, like, what made this kid have this realization. Like, I think this kid must be at least like a little older. They must be like in their tweens. Do people still say that anymore? Early teens to teens. And I don't, and I just want to say right now, I do not want us to be speculating on who this kid is or anything like that. We do not need to be going down a rabbit hole. I don't want any kind of comments that say it could be this kid or that kid or anything. I should have put this at the beginning, but I'm saying it now. If there are any comments like that, I will be deleting them. But I do wonder, like, what made this kid realize, like, holy crap, like, there are so many people that could be watching this at any given moment. Like, I do not want my life broadcasted. Our lives are so controlled. I wear what my parents tell me to wear. I eat what they tell me to eat. When they point a camera at me, I do whatever they tell me to do just to keep the peace. My social media accounts are 100% controlled by them. Every silly selfie of me was taken with a professional camera and lighting, and my mom did my makeup and hair, and there were 100 shots that didn't make the cut, and it was photoshopped too. The only reason I feel safe using Reddit is I'm not staying logged into this account, and my parents only see my normal account where I look at memes. We love a good meme. Every time we go out to order, we order 2 things each: the food we take a photo with and the food we're actually allowed to eat to maintain our weights. So you make it look like they're eating delicious things, and then they have to eat controlled portioned diets. Not that I'm saying controlled and portioned diets are a bad thing, of course. I mean, these are kids, and you're them into the toxicity of diet culture for your Instagram or YouTube or whatever this person posts on TikTok, who knows. Anyway, this includes our birthdays. There's always a huge beautiful cake and sweets and stuff everywhere, and we take photos with it all and have a video of us eating a bite or two, and that's all we're allowed to eat. Honestly, that's disgusting on a few levels. 1, you're not letting your child enjoy this birthday cake that you bought for them. 2, you bought it to show off on the internet, and instead of like your family enjoying it. And 3, that's a ginormous waste of money. I have to wonder if these like videos or whatever content they're making, does it really balance out? If they buy a $500 cake, are they making enough money to cover the cake and other costs? Like, this is just anyway, let me just go into this. We're not done. There is still some more. We go on vacations to beautiful places, but all we do is take photos. We don't get to have any fun. Our lives look perfect and amazing, and yes, we do a lot of cool stuff and get to do cool things, but our lives are 100% controlled and 100% watched, and we have no privacy. The only person in our life who spoke against it was my grandma, and my parents cut her out of our life after she called CPS on us. Holy crap, Grandma. Well, good for you. She doesn't want her grandkids exploited on the internet, and I applaud that. She saw the dangers of this and who might be potentially viewing these images of her grandkids. And I mean, we don't know who these family vloggers are, so we don't even really know like what kind of content they could have been sharing. I mean, a lot of family vloggers think their stuff is innocent, but I mean, take for example, JessFam just a couple weeks ago posted what a lot of people deemed was an inappropriate photo of her young 5 or 6-year-old daughter, Addie. You have to be aware of who is viewing your children on the internet if you're going to be posting them. And here's the thing is, we know there are a lot of really gross people on the internet who enjoy viewing images of children just doing normal children things. That's the thing, is they don't necessarily need to see children in other kinds of situations. They like watching them do normal everyday children things. That's the effed up part about all this. That's a whole other rant that I didn't exactly expect to go into, but like what I always say is, would you take your child to like an amusement park where you knew there was going to be a predator there watching your child? No. Then why would you serve your child up on a silver platter on the internet for lots of them to look at? We still have more of this Reddit post. I just went on a huge like rant. Anyway, but kudos to Grandma for trying to do something. Oh, damn it. It just followed up with, we weren't allowed to speak to her for years till just before she passed away. So they only had one person looking out for them, their grandma, and now grandma's gone. Honestly, that really breaks my heart. I can't wait till we turn 18 so I can control my own life and not be constantly filmed, but even then, I'll never be able to get my face and personal info off the internet, and I'll never get my childhood back. And then in the comments, there are a lot of people saying like, what the heck, you're being forced to work, you should be like compensated for work, and they don't specifically mention Coogan law, but they kind of like talk about like child labor laws for the industry, but it's right now it's such a new and gray area. I think I said this in the last video too, this is like the real first generation of family vlogger kids, so we don't totally know what all the ramifications are. However, I have a feeling we will see a couple of former family vlogger kids, that's like a tongue twister, go down some dark paths if it's any indication from what we've seen from a lot of just child actors. It's a very hard life when like you are plastered around the world so everybody knows who you are and feels like they should be able to speak freely and make comments about you. And on the other hand, family vloggers and child actors do have in common that their parents are generally responsible for what they are and are not doing because they can't really say yes or no to situations without their parents' consent. And we've seen a lot that child actor stars, their parents still exploit that even with these Coogan laws to protect them. And I think I've said before that I might make another video just about Coogan law and like gray areas that I see and stuff, because there is a lot of uncharted territory, and I really do feel like the Coogan law really is not the end all be all and does not really encompass everything that should be protecting children who are actors, family vloggers on reality TV. Anyway, more into the comments. There was one person who they've actually deleted their account, so it just says deleted, and it says, I wish I could give you advice other than hang in there and get out as soon as you can. Frankly, the moment you can get out, I would look into options to get everything with your picture, image, and it taken down. Copyright claims, whatever, get legal help. As being a minor, before you could consent, but now you can. And as the monkey already indicated, I don't know what the monkey is, a lawyer? Document, make notes, hide them, cloud storage. If you go to school, take some time there to write things down and keep those safe. Then somebody said, documentation is important, but if you can't, don't fear. Once you are free to write everything down in a timeline format. And then somebody said, please get a lawyer when you turn 18 to get everything taken down. And then this is where I kind of like thought like, well, why can't they just get a lawyer now? We hear about people who become emancipated from their parents. Actually, one of my favorite US gymnasts of all time, Dominique Moceanu, she actually became emancipated from her parents when she was 15 years old. I do not know the situation behind it, because there was some shady stuff going on in the Moceanu family. Anyway, that has nothing to do with here or there. But this person could look into becoming emancipated. And actually somebody says that they could look into an attorney now. Plenty of kids in the industry get emancipated at 15, 16, and their parents may owe them wages. It could be worth it for them to know their options. And then somebody said that's a good idea, especially if you're living coastal like California or New York, where they have lawyers who have experience in the industry like that. With all the info that has come out in the past few years about the way influencers and stage parents abuse your kids, you could find that you have some real support. If not, you can go to them as soon as you turn 18. I don't think they're legally allowed to keep all the money they made off your back. You may be entitled to at least a small payout, at least enough to get you started in your own life. I would be tempted to really blow things up and publicly put them out as a terrible person as soon as I was 18 and out of the house. Anyway, the original poster responded, I wanted to try and stick around and be there for my siblings. I don't want to leave them alone. That in of itself makes me wonder if there's some parentification going on, because if the parents are narcissistic family vlogger parents who are, just exploiting their children, they may not actually be parenting their children very well. And we see in a lot of family vlogger situations, especially when they have large kids, a lot of times the responsibility is left in the care of the older children to take care of their siblings while mommy and daddy are filming things, planning things, editing things, having a meeting, running the family vlogger business brand. I obviously don't know who these people are or how old this person is or anything like that. Based on the fact that they feel very protective over their siblings, it makes me think they are taking on more than just a sibling role with their siblings. They have some sort of like parent role with them. Somebody said you could try and get emancipated, and if a judge grants it, would be more likely to rule in your siblings' favor as well, should they also decide to emancipate. And somebody said, look, it doesn't hurt to look, you don't have to pursue it, but it's good to know what your options would be in case you need it. Plus, you could also create a safe space for your siblings to escape to when the time comes, or have a better place for them to live now. Either way, it does not hurt to know your options and have a plan in place in case you ever need to. You don't actually have to pursue it if you don't want to. It may make you feel better if you have an escape plan just in case, even if you never intend on using it. But a lot more of the comments just talk about, you know, like hiring lawyers, like copyright, things like that, trying to get that stuff taken down when you turn 18, or discussing emancipation. Another set of comments that actually caught my attention was, hear me out, I'm viewing this from the point of view of a mandated reporter therapist. I think we can do more with more information. If we know which vlogger family OP, original post, is part of, there are many concrete actions we can take to stop the abuse. OP, do you know if your folks have taken all the revenue for themselves, or have they set up trust for you and your siblings? I agree that there are things a wider population can do to limit the channel, but I do worry for the safety of the kiddos. And then somebody else replied to that and said, I agree. Social worker. I am going to look into some things, wonder if there's any way we can help dig a bit deeper and help OP. This is very clearly a desperate cry for help, many red flags here. Somebody also mentioned like sneak in as much like videos and photos, etc. And like really, if you just like and honestly, this is my advice to the family vlogger kid. If you want to be able to document things, your parents are already recording stuff all the time. Just start joining in on recording and taking photos and things like that. And they'll think you're starting to lean into it more. And then you'll just have more documentation and proof and everything like that. And then somebody did give wonderful advice too and said, if you ever feel unsafe at home, use your Google incognito mode, research your local shelter and go there. They can provide you with food, clothing, and counseling. It doesn't have to be forever, but it can be a safe place to think about your next move. Every city/county should have a shelter and they're free. Tell them you're experiencing family abuse and they can really help. Glad you posted here to vent. And I think I figured out what the monkey thing was. I found that person, it's a very long thing, but basically they just, you know, gave hugs and gave the advice of, you know, trying to find some family member that's not involved in this like vlogger cult mentality and see if they can, you know, get help, express whatever their concerns are, even if it's through a note, write it down, talk to adults outside of the circus. But then OP responds and says, unfortunately, there's no family members who disagree with this. They all like it because my parents often use the money from it on them. And then this person said, I agree, school is your escape. Your folks are probably shallow and antisocial. I almost feel worse for kids whose parents are intellectual or scientists. My abusive grandfather was an engineer, so my mother felt like school was just more of the same. School or whatever you can, stick your head in books. Or say you want to go to art school and your skills can help them, and start pointing the camera at them, anything. And then OP says, I'm homeschooled. Oh my gosh, we need to get this kid saved. Someone says, of course you are, the better to control you. Funny, but insensitive in the moment. You could have waited on that. And then somebody actually directed them to another subreddit, which is homeschool recovery, and they thanked them. And then the comments go on. People do give good advice about legal things, how to do documentation, different ways to keep that stuff secret or hidden from their parents. But I said this in my last video that this is not going to be the last time we see this. We are going to continue to see and hear family vlogger kids speaking out about their experiences with the tension, the stress, the anxiety. That girl from 8 Passengers talked about how she'd been experiencing anxiety. It seemed like the majority of her childhood. And it was because she was being filmed all the time. She didn't say that, but it was blatantly obvious. And now we have another kid who is saying, yeah, like my life is a complete lie, a complete sham, and I can't enjoy any of it. And I'm looking at my siblings and it's even worse for them. Like they can't enjoy any of this either. It's really heartbreaking that their food is controlled even on their birthday. It's like when Gigi Hadid was only allowed to eat half of an almond and like this much of her own birthday cake because her mother, Yolanda, is such a crazy stage mom. And I really see no difference between child actors, parents, and family vlogger parents. I really don't. It's just they get more of a stable income and they get to kind of hide it as it's their channel where they're really just exploiting their children. And I feel so horrible for these kids that have no one to turn to. They don't even get to go to school to talk to teachers there or other peers about what's going on. The only adult in their life that saw this craziness for what it was and wanted to help them get some kind of control over their life and just be kids is gone. Their grandmother. It doesn't matter how old this kid is really sad that they actually have this cognitive awareness that this is not normal. It's not right. This is just the beginning. We are going to see more child vlogger kids starting to speak out. The first generation are in their teens and some are getting into their 20s. We've even seen kids who their parents are bloggers and blogged about them and how upset and angry they are now about it. We've heard from these kids already that are now becoming adults. This is just gonna get worse and worse. Anyway, I feel like I've been ranting about this for like a few minutes and it's really sad. We really need to look at protections for children in media just across the board, not just family vloggers, but reality stars and kids in movies and TV shows. Sure, some of these kids have more protection than others, but really not much. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check out my second channel. I realized I didn't even say the name of it. It's Lostalgia, you know, low plus nostalgia, Lostalgia, because it's about all things nostalgic. To me and to you, probably. Anyway, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys next time. Laters. Bye.